Hello again, everyone. Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, here at NJHorrorCon and Film Festival at the fabulous Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We are rolling right along on Saturday at the heart of the convention, and I have the pleasure of standing here with the lovely and talented Kassie DePaiva. Kassie, how are you today?
Hi. I'd like you to say that about 5 times straight in a row. That was amazing.
I have said it about 5 million times.
It's good. He's good, you guys. He's
Thank
really
you.
Good.
It's muscle memory at this point.
It's a tongue twister, though.
Yeah, well, I try.
Good.
And imagine going to a different show and having to remember that one too. So listen.
Yeah, I understand about learning lines. It's hard. It's hard.
Sure. How has the convention been for you so far?
It's been really, really great.
Good.
You can't beat Atlantic City on a beautiful day, but it is hot outside, so it's nice to be in here, and it's great to see all these fans that come out for their favorite spooky movie, and I'm just grateful to be here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So speaking of the fans,
Yes.
does it ever surprise you that after all these years, because let's face it, some of these movies came out quite some time ago.
A long time ago.
That the fans do just still come and line up to meet you, get your autograph, and take a picture?
Yeah, it's surprising. You know, I did Evil Dead 2, played Bobby Joe when I was 25. And who knew that almost 30 years later it would still have legs and still running, and I'm still making a little change off of it. So
Sure.
it is good. And Evil Dead 2 is a cult classic.
It is. And I'm not going to lie, I take a lot of heat from my friends about this.
Okay.
I always preferred Evil Dead 2 over Evil Dead.
Well, you're a smart man.
I think it's the better film.
You're a smart man because I'm in it.
Right, well, that's true. So what was it like working on that film with Sam and Bruce Campbell? And
Well, I was very young, as I just mentioned. It was my first film. It was a learning experience. If I had a question, like what a shot would look like, Sam would let me look through the camera. And so, it was just, we were all working together as a team. We shot it in Wadesboro, North Carolina, and it was in the middle of summer. It was probably 110, and we were shooting in an old gymnasium, and they were trying to force air conditioning in. But it was so hot. That's what I remember. So all of this sweat and all these pictures, like this right here, that's real sweat. They didn't have to put on glycerin on you. But
yikes.
It was wonderful. I really learned a lot, and it's a great team of people. Dan Hicks played Jake, was just fabulous, and it was just great.
It seems like it would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then watching Bruce work is fantastic too, and Sam. Both of them are geniuses, so it's great.
Sure. Now, you have quite a prolific career in soap operas.
Sure.
So what was it like going from, say, slapstick horror over to...
Same thing. Soap operas just had to be a little sexy at it, I guess. I don't know. I auditioned for The Guiding Light a week after I got back from North Carolina, and I was just auditioning for whatever I could get, and I ended up getting this job in New York, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I had just started on The Guiding Light when Evil Dead was released. So I saw it at a big theater in Times Square, and I'd never really been to a theater because I grew up in a small town in Kentucky where people talk to the screen. So it was huge. It was a big theater, and people were like, "No, don't go in there." People were yelling, and it was crazy, really crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So is horror something that you like? You mentioned it was your first film.
Yes.
So you find out you're auditioning for a horror film. Did that faze you at all, or were you excited about it?
I just wanted to work and get a job. Horror was really not my favorite genre at the time, and it probably isn't now. Movies that I watched growing up, we had a little theater in my hometown that we got an old Dracula movies and all the old movies that we would walk to and do whatever. So I saw those kind of movies, but like the scariest movie today, horror film, was The Exorcist.
Sure.
I still think that's the scariest movie ever made. So
a lot of people will agree with you.
And I don't like to sit and watch a scary movie by myself. I mean, I'm usually like, okay, everybody, if we're going to watch this, we're all going to sit here together and have a cocktail and watch the movie.
So, and it's like at a movie, say today, will you go see a horror movie? Like, are you into it, or do you shy away from that? Like, what kind of movies do you like today?
I like all different kinds of movies. I guess the last horror movie that I saw was A Cabin in the Woods.
Okay, good one.
It reminded me so much of so many horror movies rolled into one,
Sure.
but a lot of Evil Dead 2 flavors of that.
Sure.
But yeah, that was probably the last horror film that I saw. Now, I know that I've got a lot on DVD that I haven't watched. And even because my husband watches everything, but I'm like, nope, you can sit and watch that one by yourself. Nope, no thanks. Nope.
Got it.
I'll do a rom-com.
So one last question, Kassie, what are you up to these days? Any current film projects or TV projects you're working on?
Well, my last day at Days of Our Lives, which is soap opera where I played Eve, it was in February of 2020, and we're 6 months ahead of schedule, so it aired like in October of last year. But that's the last I've done since COVID.
Yeah. I
have auditioned for some things, but I haven't gotten them, and we'll just wait and see what happens. But I'm not giving up my career, but obviously, because I'm getting a little long in the tooth, things are slowing down for me.
I get it.
know.
Days of Our Lives. I grew up with that. Like that was
Well,
my mother's big
man.
story. Marlena.
Yeah.
Total crush on Marlena.
She's
Not gonna lie.
There. She's still there. She still looks the same too.
She does, right? Like, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Well,
thank
Kassie,
you so much.
Thank you so much for a few minutes of your time.
my
I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wish you success in
Thank
everything
you.
that you do.
Thank you.
And have a great rest of the weekend
Yeah.
here at the convention.
Okay. Take
Kassie
care, everyone.
DePaiva, everybody, here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival in Atlantic City. I'm Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.